Hey there, how about a little ghost story? So, back in 1980 something, I lived in my mom's coach house in Chicago. Coach house is a little house that's on the same land as the big house, and in the city it kind of basically just takes the place of a garage. So I lived there in the coach house with my boyfriend at the time, who was also a Chicago policeman. It was fall, it was starting to get cold outside. He was on graveyard shift. So at 10:30 I'd walk him to the door, say goodbye, lock the door, go watch TV, go to bed. So I did that the one night, and then I wake up the next morning, and his face is literally right in mine. And I'm like, whoa, you scared me. Why are you doing this? And he said, you left the door wide open. Why would you do that? That anything could happen. Being a policeman, he's thinking terrible things can happen with doors unlocked. So I said, wow, I'm so sorry. I thought I locked that door. I remember locking it, but mistakes can be made. So I just went on and I said, for sure, I'm going to make sure I don't do that again. So the next night, I walk into the door, I deadbolt it, and then I undeadbolt it, and then I deadbolt it again just to make sure that it's in my mind that, I've done it. I check the door, I go to bed. In the morning, I wake up to find my boyfriend's face right in mine again. I'm like, okay, now why? And he was trying to make a point that when I don't lock the door, anything would happen. But I said, I did lock the door. And he said, you know what the funny part is I waited and I heard you check the lock and I heard you check the door. That's why this morning I was like, what is on your mind? So that happened twice. And I don't really remember it happening again, but I mean, that was really weird. I did not leave the door unlocked. So that was weird in that house. So I had almost forgotten about it when one morning I felt someone sit down at the bottom edge of the bed. And I thought it was my boyfriend. And I thought, crap, that door again. I'll just wait to see if he's going to try to scare me or get in my face or something. But nothing happened. I waited. I felt some movement, like he was sitting on the edge of the bed and picking something up off the floor. Was he going to do laundry? I decide to scare him. So I sit up in bed really fast, only to see that nobody was on the bed, or on the floor, or in the room, or in the house. To be honest, it started to freak me out. Luckily, it was daylight, so I just started my day. This coach house that I was living in had a basement. The entrance to the basement was either from the outside, down a few stairs, or through the closet-type door in the small living room. Through that door, down to the basement, it was dark cement walls with creaky wooden stairs and a single hanging light bulb. If you've ever seen the movie Signs, think of what that basement looked like, and it was similar, heater and all. So that door to that basement had a skeleton key, and it was always locked. I lovingly called that basement the dungeon. So now, as we're moving towards Christmas time, we're talking in the kitchen and discussing gifts when my boyfriend says, but you already know what I got you. And I didn't, but now I'm curious, why did he think I did? So very seriously I said, all joking aside, I don't know what you got me, but why do you think that I do know? So he tells me that he hid my presents in the basement on a shelf. And he knew I saw them because they weren't just shifted, they were moved clearly across the room. He thought that I was messing with him. I assured him, as I had so many times before, I would never go in that basement, so it was not me that moved those gifts. Whoever or whatever moved those gifts were not me. And if he didn't move them, then whatever it was wasn't human. Decades later, and much more knowledge on this topic, I suspect the negative entities caught a ride home with my boyfriend, because once he moved out, all that activity stopped. from what I understand. Bars, prisons, jails, places that are not happy places have a tendency for spiritual entities to cling on and maybe hitch a ride. So him dealing graveyard and paddy wagon and locking people up, and he could have had entities. Um, so that was just the coach house, and we'll figure out some more stories too. I have a whole bunch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it didn't scare you, but I hope it made you think. Have a great day.